When to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
philsgang.com is not the only way you can stay in touch with what we do throughout the day. With today's social media, you can stay up to date with Phil's Gang current events. You can find Phil's Gang on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and more. Phil's Gang radio show is broadcast live Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Periscope, and, of course, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Go to philsgang.com and find our social media buttons at the top left-hand corner of the site. philsgang.com and Phil's Gang social media, keeping you connected.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
We're not lending to those banks. We're lending to the central bank. The central bank is responsible for repaying us.
So who got the money?
To financial institutions in Europe and other countries.
Which ones?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. Remember Bernanke said he didn't know. He doesn't know where the money goes. He's the head of the Federal Reserve. He doesn't know where the money goes. And all of a sudden this morning, the market opens up down 500 points. And the reason they tell us is that China's largest construction and development company, Evergrande, they're unable to meet their $84 billion interest payment that's due today. They're $300 billion in debt. They owe $300 billion in debt, and they got to pay interest $84 billion. They can't meet it, that debt obligation. They only have $15 billion in cash on hand. Now, this is China, the communist largest construction development company. So they said that's why the market went down today. Well, here's and why they're saying it went down. They're worried that our banks here in the United States own some of that debt. But see, we don't know that. And what I just played was a cut. This was another time, and I forget the name of the congressman. Wish I could remember. He's from Florida. He's not a congressman anymore. This happened before. And he asked Bernanke, have you been loaning money to the Chinese? Or you been loaning money to Russia? He won't tell you. They don't have to. See, the Federal Reserve does not have to tell him anything. The Federal Reserve can't be audited. There's nobody overseeing it. So what they're afraid of today is how many of the 6 largest banks in the United States are tied to this debt of $300 billion. How many loaned money to Evergrande, this communist construction company? And that's what everybody's nervous about, and that's why the market dropped this morning. But that is not the reason the market dropped this morning. They're using that as a phony reason. In the same way they used pandemic as a phony reason the market dropped in February 2020. In 2020, they said, oh, it was the pandemic. That's why February, we opened down 500 points, then down 800, then 1,000, the market dropped 32%. You remember that? It's the pandemic, the virus. No, that was the catalyst. It was going to drop anyways. Because why? The tremendous debt we are carrying in this country. That's why. And today, it's the same reason. The debt. We have too much debt. Yes, Evergreen today is a catalyst, just like the COVID-19 was a catalyst back in February to March when we had the 31% drop. But see, I don't think, we have to wait and see. I believe the Communist Party, not unlike this country, they don't have to get approvals or anything else. The head of the Communist Party would just go and say, let's fix it. And they'll give it all kinds of money and they'll be okay again. So what I told my members this morning, the market's down about 2.5%. And remember, I've always said to my members, and how beautiful. If you go and you take a look at our color-coded chart, I've had everybody in the Qs and the S&P. Our members, I said, just stay in these stocks. The S&P 500 stocks and the big tech stocks, the Qs, and let's just keep riding them. We've been riding these for months. riding them for months. Matter of fact, if you're in the spiders with us from June 3rd, alone, okay, let's say you got in around $331, and you're still today at $373. I'll get you a percentage on that. So again, if you got in somewhere around, let's see, a low of 328, and we're at 373, that's probably about that's a nice 14% return. That's if you got in then. Many members got in all the way back to I think it was on April 24th in March of 2020. They got in around $215, and many of them hold it today at $373. And that's a 73% gain. So it doesn't matter. You look at every stock as its own profit center. So the S&P, after we had that correction of 31% from February 2020 to March 2020, and then all of a sudden the Federal Reserve comes in and they start doing stimulus. You know all the stimulus programs. And they push the market up 113%, not on earnings, not on profits, not on top line sales, not on margins. The whole stock market went up based on stimulus. All this printing of money. And they would just throw that money in to keep the market going up. That's all they did. But here's the problem. There's no earnings to it. That's the problem. There's no profits. The market goes up artificially. And that's what they did. But the problem we have with that now, we have the same problem now as we had back in February of 2020. The whole market was artificial. So if you got in the market, if you got into the S&P back in let's say April of 2020 or March 2020, you had a nice rally. If you remember mine, you don't have to worry, because my color-coded chart will tell you when we're going to change, when all the money is coming out, it'll start turning red. Right now it's yellow. It went from green to yellow. See, that's the beautiful thing. Every stock, think of it as its own business, as its own profit center. And whether you got 10% of the 73% or 20% or 60%, doesn't matter. Everybody gets in at a different time because people join the gang at different times. But the key was that they enjoyed this beautiful rally, not based on the economy's doing well. We know the economy's doing horrible. And again, the economy's doing horrible not because of Evergrande. The economy's doing horrible not because of the catalysts, COVID-19. Yes, those are catalysts. It's doing horrible because of the debt. We have too much debt. That's the real reason for the sell-off today, but they won't admit it. The same reason for the sell-off in February 2020. When we had that 31% crash. Remember back then? They were catalysts. Remember, debt. With the introduction of QE in 2008, it took just 4 presidents, starting with Baby Bush, to increase our debt by 336%. From $5.2 trillion to $28 trillion. What, are you nuts? There's the problem. Now remember, this QE was to stop in 2014. That's what Bernanke told us, but he lied. So they kept rates doing this QE to keep rates too low. But the problem is there's a consequence of that. When you keep rates too low for too long through QE, there's severe consequences. You can't get out of it. You can't raise rates again. That's what happened to Japan. You get screwed. You get screwed. 13 years later, we still are QE. We still have zero rates. They still can't get out. They still can't raise rates, and they're not going to raise rates. And believe me, everybody else say, well, the other reason market's down today because they're going to taper. They're going to start tapering. They're not going to taper. What are you, nuts? They're not going to taper. Not going to happen. We'll talk about that when we get back. But this is a beautiful day because we don't care if the market's going down because we know how to short, and you should too.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. When the markets open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang. And as I say to you every day, you should always be in a position that you do not care that the market is down 905 points right now. You shouldn't care if the market's up. You don't care either way if it's up or down. At that point, you become part of the 20 percentile who make money consistently in the stock market. But 80% of people lose money because they're not willing to be open-minded about selling a stock short. Like I always tell you, it's ridiculous. A person will get in a stock, it's at $30, and then it goes up to, let's say, $60, and he says, get me out, I better get out, it's going down. Instead of just switching his position, switching it, just like putting a light switch on and off, switching his position. And then if he's getting out because he knows the market's going down, or he's getting out because he knows the stock's going down, then why don't you make money on that stock or stock market that's going down? Instead, what do? They go to another stock. But wait a minute, all stocks went up. I use the analogy of a home. You bought a home 15 years ago. You paid, say $200,000 for the home, and now the house is worth $400,000. You think you're rich. You go spend it. You sell your house. But the problem is you go out to look for another house. You fail to remember all the other houses went up. Now you're paying for a new house that's half the size of your house. Not even worth what your house is worth. Don't have the features you have. You say, what the hell happened here? Well, because all houses went up. So what's happened, you screwed yourself. Unless you decide if you sold your house, you had a house that was $30,000, let's say, $200,000, went up to $400,000, and you went out and rented and put your money in the stock market, that's fine. But if you sold it, got in a house for $200,000, now it's worth $400,000, and you go sell it, then you get to the rude awakening that everything you look at is overpriced. Well, no, everything's going up. Well, you thought your house is the only one that went up in price. They all went up. It's the same thing with a stock. So it drives me nuts when a person gets in a stock and he says, get me out. And he doesn't change his position. Once you learn to change that position with us here at Phil's Gang, you will learn that. Because I designed a color-coded chart that nobody else has in the country. It's patented. I've been doing this business for over 51 years. And I've always said, if I could just get people to take the other side of the transaction, because it's always been only 20% of the people in the stock market make money. People in 401ks today are getting killed. They can't do anything. They're calling their bro, what should I do? Market's going to be down 1,000 points. What should I do? What's he going to say to you? He's going to tell you the cost average down. He's going to tell you buy on a pullback. And they should be in jail for doing that. You don't go buy on a dip in something like this. You never buy on dips. If a stock goes from 40 to 50 and it pulls back to 41, you don't buy it on a dip. You're buying the same real estate twice. You wait till it gets back up above 50. When it gets to 51, then you buy it. That's when you buy it. The reason they got you in a position to buy on pullbacks, to buy dips, because they don't want you shorting stocks. They don't want you to make money when stocks are going down because they don't make commissions. Wall Street, there's nothing to gain for Wall Street when you sell a stock short. When the market's going down and you're making money, they don't gain anything. They don't want you selling shorts. They scared you to death, just like when the ETFs first came out. Remember when they first came out, the ETFs, they're no good, they're dangerous. They didn't want you buying ETFs because they make more money in individual stocks than ETFs. Now the whole world's ETF today. So what's going on today is not the fact that this, because they know this communist construction company, this communist construction company, they're going to fix it. They can do what they want. They're communists. The leader of the party makes a decision. Not like he's got to go to a board of directors. They're going to fix it. This is crazy. But they needed another excuse, just like the pandemic. So Evergrande, we're going to use that as an excuse. Fake Business Network, going to use it because they don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to tell the truth. That it wasn't COVID, wasn't Evergrande. That's not why the market went down. Yes, they're a catalyst. They don't want to tell the truth because they don't want QE to stop. Are you kidding? And when they got to 2014, when they started QE in 2008, and they got to 2014, they're supposed to stop, but they realizing the rate's been too low for too long, they can't. They're addicted to it. There's an addiction. And they know there's severe consequences in raising rates. That's right. So they added from $85 billion a month to $125 billion a month, and that's where we are today. This massive money printing is the problem. It kills you. It drives inflation's going up. That's the problem. It's not this construction company. What a bunch of garbage that is. Massive money printing. Remember what happened with QE? We went from a monetary policy from spending money, taking earnings, taking profits, spending it on business investment, new machinery, new equipment, to then produce more goods, to produce more profits, to produce more wages, more jobs. Remember, we contribute. Our economic growth comes from people making money and spending. 72% of our economic growth comes from workers getting raises, making good money, and then they save, and they also spend. That all stopped in 2008. They said, never mind, we don't need people working. We don't need to produce anymore. We don't need to produce anything. We're going to send everything overseas. So they did what they call QE, print and spend, print and spend. No business investment, just print and spend. As a result, business investment, productivity, top-line sales, earnings, profits, increased stock prices, all stalled, including the economy wouldn't grow. It all stalled. So what did they do? They did some financial engineering called QE. So they linked the stock market to this financial engineering. That's what they did. I'll explain when I get back. And we'll talk more about stock. Join my gang free for 10 days. Learn how to make money when a stock goes down.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang so you can become part of the 20 percentile who makes money consistently. Why do they make money consistently? Because with the same ease they buy a stock, they can turn around, and when that stock drops, or the stock market, say the S&P, drops, you make money on the way back down. Once you get to that position where you can say, I don't really give a damn if the market's going up or down, that's when you join the 20 percentile. Think about how bad that is. 80% of people lose money in the stock market, especially 401k, because they're not allowed to make money when the market goes down. Can you imagine that? Buying a stock or a product that when the market goes down, you can't make money. You got to sit and stay in that, take your hit. And remember, if a market stock goes down 25%, people think, well, I just got to get 25%, get back even. No, you got to have 50% to break even. What are you, nuts? So the idea of being in a stock market, that's like the same thing as you're going to be a race car driver, but you decide not to have any brakes. Or you're going to sell a car with forward but no reverse. It makes no sense because it's not dangerous. It's not hard. It's easy. You just hit a button that says sell. That's all. And we work very hard with our students to get them from that terrible position they've been in all their lives with stocks, where every time the market goes down, they got to call somebody and say, what do I do? What do I do? And here's what they tell you.
You're fine. You don't pay attention to the value of your house every day. Don't pay attention to your portfolio every day. Have a good, sound...
Yeah, just have a good, sound life. That's what they tell you. That is so stupid. Because they don't want you selling a stock short. Remember what Wall Street is. Buy, 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 buy. Talking about buy, 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 my color-coded chart. Do you remember Kramer last week got this guy in this stock?
My question is regarding a local utility company called NiSource, ticker NI. They have
now there's a stock I want to own for everyone. Good dividend, fantastic manager. Buy, buy, buy.
Fantastic manager. Buy, buy, buy. Give me that stock. I want to be in that stock. Remember that? Well, my members were shorting it. My members who are in that stock, been shorting that stock since it was at a high of $26. $26. Take a look on my color-coded chart. Take a look. It turned red. It told us that the institutions were pulling money out. The biggest institution, the biggest banks, the biggest hedge funds, the biggest insurance guys were taking their money out of this company. He says, I know the manager well. So what? You know the manager well. That's not what makes a stock going up and down the manager. I know a lot of lousy managers. I know terrible managers. No, you got to identify, is money coming out? That's all you got to know. You don't have to know the manager. And look at this poor guy. He's getting killed. Look at today. It's back down again. Look. But my members didn't get killed who have my color-coded chart because it turned red. It turned red. I'll give you the exact date. It turned red on June 28th. It's been red ever since. And he told them to get in. He told them to get in. He told them to buy that stock because he knew the manager on September 14th. Guy's getting killed. And look, remember, there's no fiduciary relationship. When the market goes down, nobody cares about you.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
Our partners, our shareholders, you're not included. You're not in the club. So look, this whole market was financially engineered since 2008 for stimulus. They put the economy on life support instead of fixing it. They prop the economy up instead of fixing it. They call it QE. It's the biggest scam in the world. And what is stimulus? Life support. You print money to keep it on life support so the rich can get richer so they can keep pushing the stock price up without having productivity, without producing anything, without making anything. They don't make anything. And who gets screwed? The guy on Main Street. And at the end of the day, when this market crashes again, because they screwed the guy on Main Street, his wages aren't going up. Matter of fact, if you take a look at the inflation today, guy on Wall Street, guy on Main Street, the hard worker, let's say he's making anywhere from $30,000, he and his wife combined, to $70,000. They got a 2.5% cut in their wages because of inflation. They don't tell you this. So what did they do? When they've been since 2008. Think of what they've been doing. The amount of money they've been printing and putting in this whole market. And then they convince you the stock market is the economy. It's not the economy. Stock market is not the economy. But they've been able to financially engineer the stock market and then take parking space in your head that it's the economy and people fell for it. We don't care. We don't care. If the market goes up, that's fine. We're making money on the way up and on the way down. And we're reaching out. I'm reaching out. The whole team here is reaching out. You hear us every day to try to get you to join the gang for 10 days so you finally can make money when the market goes down. Look, you can't tell me when they do stimulus enhancement checks, think of what they've been doing. CARES Act stimulus, $2.3 trillion. American Rescue Plan, $2 trillion. American Family Plan, $2 trillion. Child tax credit, $2 trillion. Then they started to print $6.5 trillion a day to keep the market up. $120 billion a month to purchase treasuries to keep interest rates at zero. They printed another $100 billion a month for stock buybacks to keep stocks going up when they should be going down. Listen to me, $100 billion a month. So when stocks should be going down, they're buying them so they go up. That's called QE. $180 billion a month for mortgage-backed securities. Banks are in deep trouble. The banks are in deep trouble. So what have they been doing? Supporting the banks by going in and buying all their mortgages and all their mortgage-backed securities and buying their treasuries. They'll keep feeding them cash. Another $120 billion a month. What are they doing with that printing of money? They're going to bad corporations that are in trouble, and they buy their debt. They buy their debt so corporations that are filing bankruptcy, they can survive. They're zombie companies. Another $100 billion a month to go buy the government's debt because the government's in such trouble. It's in such trouble. They go buy their debt to keep them from going bankrupt. Well, the government's been bankrupt since 1933 anyways. Another $215 billion a month to purchase again all the bank debt. Now they're saying they're worried about tapering. They're not going to taper. They can't taper. They can't raise rates. It won't happen. Do you realize what would happen? It would cause the interest on our we're at $28 trillion, almost a $30 trillion national debt, to go from $320 billion to nearly $500 billion. We're going to be paying $500 billion interest on our national debt instead of $320 billion. By the way, that doesn't count the $125 billion unfunded for Social Security and Medicare. What are you, nuts? So they took all this money, took all this printing of money to keep this thing going up artificially. And you should have been right there making money. But now, instead of losing money, and how many times do you hear from me every day? I said, we're going to get a 10% correction, and then it's going to go back up. And then after it goes back up, then we're going to get a 60, 70% pullback. Crash. You can't avoid it. When you're putting in this kind of funding every day, printing money, the inflation is horrible. Our debt is rising 60% faster than our economy. Our debt is rising 35% faster than wages. Our consumers are spending more than their income. But now they're screwed because now that debt is piling up on them, on their credit cards and everything else, and they can't spend no more. Consumer debt is going down. Consumer confidence is getting killed. Consumers have no more confidence. They came out and reported that. And then remember last week they came out, they said, look at retail sales in August. They were booming. No, that was a lie. Yes, the sales price were up, but not the units. They don't report the units. See, they should be forced to report the units of sales. What do I mean? So if you're sitting there and you have 100 hats, you got 100 hats, right? And you sold 100 units, and you made $500, 100 units. This month you only sell 50 units, right? You sell 50 units, but you made $600. So they report, look at this, the 600, we made more money. No, you didn't. You're selling less goods. That's all that happened. Inflation pushed the price up. Back for more.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month? philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the .com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Click on where it says Working Investor. You get your color-coded chart and a full membership for 10 days, and it's free. For the first time in your life, you're going to learn how to be as comfortable when the market goes down as well as it going up. You're going to finally have an attitude. When you get this attitude, I don't give a damn if the market's going down or if it's going up. What do I care? I'm making money both sides. Once you do that, you'll be joining the 20% of the people who make money consistently in the market, while the other 80% lose money because they don't want to learn how to make money going down. They don't want to short. Instead, you know, if you're going to be out there only looking for stocks that are going up, you know how hard that is? You know how hard it is to just try to go out and try to find stocks that are always going up? When you get out of a stock, you think about it just for 1 minute. Why are you getting out of a stock? Why do you call your broker, or why do you go online and get yourself out of a stock? Because you think it's going down, right? Wouldn't it be better if you really think your stock's, after you made 20% in your stock, just like us, okay? We made, I think it was Pfizer, a 19% gain. And then it went from green to yellow. And then it went to red. So the yellow told us, call to action, we better get out of that stock. So we started to get the gang members out of the stock. But instead of going looking for another stock, like the 80% of the population would. He switches the position because it turned yellow. Then when it turned red, he just switches the position. The members now are making money on the way down. Doesn't that make sense? If you're getting out of a stock, you made 19% on the way up, and you really think it's going to go down, and the color code tells it it's going to go down, why would you go look for another stock? Remember, you make money on the buy. It's like anything else. If you go buy a car, you make money on the buy. If you go buy a house, you make money on the buy, how good you are at negotiating. Anything in life that you are purchasing, when do you make that profit? On the buy, when you buy it, because you go in for a hard deal. You try to make the best deal you can, because that's when you make profit in life on anything. When you buy something, you're a tough negotiator. It's the same thing with a stock. If you turn around with a stock and it's up and it goes up 20%, like our Qs went up 32%. Now, when it turns red, it hasn't even turned red yet, because this market could turn around and go right back up again. Because again, these Chinese, they're not going to let their company go down. Are you kidding me? But the point is, when the market starts dropping after you made a profit like our 19%, wouldn't it make more sense to just say, okay, I'm going to switch my position with the same ease as flicking a light switch on or off? And now you're making money on the way down. We'll get you to that point. It's easy to do. The color-coded chart really helps you. It's patented. It helps you. Try it. Now, let's talk about the banks. Do you understand what's going on? Okay? The banks are going to collapse. It's going to bring this market down. The banks have never been fixed. The banks have been propped up since 2008 because they never wanted to fix them with new regulations. So now they're in trouble, because here's what the banks know. The only reason the banks the banks were staying alive, because they're being supported. They're being supported. Why do you think they were doing all these stimulus programs? To save the banks. That's why. So when people were losing, think about it. When people were losing money, okay, and they're losing money, they couldn't keep their house payment up. Any of the payments, they couldn't keep their rent up. What did they do? They printed money, went in and gave them money. They paid for their utilities when they're behind on utilities. All these programs, all these stimulus programs were to make sure people could keep spending and not get hurt. But that's over. That's the only thing that kept the banks from having a large amount of foreclosures and defaults. But now most of this is over. So that's why the banks are going down. That's why the banks are going down. And all you have to do is buy XLF. That's all. Just take the stock. It says XLF. That's the symbol. That's the symbol, right? XLF. So you take, that's the ETF. So XLF, I'm going to pop it up here. If you got a mobile device, you can watch me do this. XLF. Okay, so if you go and you take XLF, we had a wonderful ride on the banks. The banks turned green around November, okay, and they're around. We got it around November 5th, I think it was. It was around $25, and it went all the way up. Okay, it went all the way up to about $38. $38. So it was a 52% gain, and all the way up it was green. So it's telling you to stay in. But now it's turning red. It's turning red. So isn't it nice to know it first turned yellow to give you a warning? Okay, it told you, look, you got a warning here. Money's coming out. Then it turned red. Now we just switch our position from purchasing it in November to selling it short in September. That's pretty easy, isn't it? And then every day, if you don't want to go with your own stocks, your own portfolio, why don't you follow our portfolio? We have a member portfolio. And every day, Steve, with the color-coded chart, goes over each stock in our portfolio. And here, listen, here's what he tells them.
Intel, continue to keep your advanced order to buy this one long at 57.10. Now, I know it went against us here a little bit. Remember, we turned green on.
And so he tells you exactly what to do. Who else does that for you? Nobody. So the bottom line is what's going on is this. You got to make a decision. if you're going to be in the market, it's the best place in the world. Only if you can feel good about yourself where you say, it doesn't matter to me whether the market goes up or down, because I also make money when the market goes down, so I feel pretty good. When you finally get into that position where you say, I don't care if the market's up or down, it don't matter to me because I make money both ways. There's no other place in the world, there's nothing else that you can invest in as good as the stock market, because now you make money both ways. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make common sense? But if your whole life you've been trying to make money by just buying that right stock, and you got these dopes who are managing your money. I mean, these are dopes managing your money. 401ks, those people that manage your 401k, they are losers. They are loser dopes. The reason why they manage 401ks instead of managing their own money, because they can't. They don't know how. They don't do a good job. Why do you think they're not working for an ETF? Why do you think they're not managing ETF? They're not bright enough to get a job to work for a pension fund. They get all the losers and put them on a salary to take care of your 401k. They're on salary. That's how bad they are. But it matters. Look, all I'm saying to you right now is today, this big pullback, we could wake up tomorrow morning and be up positive 120 points. One day does not make a trend. They'll come in by all the futures, okay, right before the market closes tonight. And look, they already did. We're already up 900 points, and the plunger team ran in and bought all these index futures, they're called. And we went from 900 points now only down to 600 points. See how they did that? By putting futures in. But that one day, and tomorrow morning, let's say we'll probably open up 135 points or 25. It doesn't matter to us here at Phil's Gang. It doesn't matter, because every stock is like its own business. And we have the same skill to make money when it's going down as going up. We do know this. They're not going to taper, and that's going to make this crash even bigger. They can't taper. They got too much going against them to taper. It's impossible to taper. I mean, when you got 125 trillion unfunded debt, Social Security, you can't taper. You can't taper. When debt is rising 60% faster than the economy, you can't taper. When debt is rising 35% than wages, you can't taper. You can't taper. And you can't raise rates when everything peaked in April. What are you, nuts? Everything peaked in April. Manufacturing, production, employment, wages, even China peaked in April. How on earth are you going to taper and let rates go up? You can't let rates go up when the S&P has the same lack of diversification now that caused the dot-com crash to crash in 2020. You can't taper. 50% of the S&P is under the key 50-day moving average. You can't taper. Debt to GDP should be no higher than 64. It's 112. You can't taper. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Click where it says Working Investor. Get it free for 10 days and learn how to make money when the market's going down.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877